I mean, all of the there's no pay after a week from now. Unless we have agreement, there's no pay after the week from now. So the proposal is that the organization can require workers to wait. So if we want to have revenue generation and we only need one person to get us the revenue generation, we can do the rankings, right? For me, the rankings is the fairest way to decide who gets the money. And so if we have $500,
whatever you were about to say and take a break for 6 minutes.
and we can hire 1 to 2 people to do revenue generation or whatever we decide to hire them to do, we can tell everybody else to wait if we pass this policy. So this is a new policy for Co-op 2.0 that states that we can just pay a single worker and everyone else basically gets nothing. And we can tell everybody else you have to wait. Like you don't have a right to training. You don't have a right to come whenever you want. You don't have a right to do whatever you want. You don't have a right to get paid. It's just like we as an organization don't have to treat all workers equally with this new model. So with this new model, we could say, okay, like the executive only requires to train and pay one single worker. And then that worker can choose to train other workers or to train other people who want to get involved for tokens or whatever. And then that's that. So that's this new proposal and this new model, which is option number
3.
5.
Okay, 5.
So this requires a proposal, agreement on proposal for Co-op 2.0. So this creates so the Co-op 2.0 takes away power from the workers. The primary power that Co-op 2.0 has already taken away is the power to set deadlines. So workers no longer have the power to refuse deadlines. They can't prevent deadlines from being created. The power is now in the executive and the HR board to set the deadlines for Co-op 2.0. This new proposal gives additional power to the organization, not to the executive, not to the HR board. This is power of the organization, right? So everybody as a cooperative has to decide through the ranking process who gets the money and who has to wait. And it's just no longer up to the workers to do whatever they want to. That we're going to create more of a structure and say, okay, if we do recruitment and we have 9 new recruits, we can rank the new recruits and we can say, okay, we're only going to hire the first 2 recruits to get active training. Everyone else has to wait. We don't care if you're going to work in the future or whatever's going to happen. We just don't have the capacity to allow 9 new recruits to come into the organization and start doing whatever the hell they want to. It's just not allowed. They're not equal. They can't do that. They have to wait. The other 7 recruits have to wait. So only the first 2 who rank the highest, we're going to start training you, and the executive is going to train them. And then those workers can go train the other 7 workers if they choose to, right? So it's just a different model where we are not required to meet the needs of every single worker and every single person. We can prioritize and say everyone else has to wait. We're only going to prioritize the people that we all agree on. Okay?
Yeah.
So it's an interesting policy. I have my concerns about it. I think the most important part of the policy is the basic life needs. If we can't meet our own basic life needs, then we're not required to meet everyone else's needs. But if we can meet our basic life needs, the moment that we can meet our basic life needs, we are required to support all the other workers, right? Based on meeting our own needs. So we're not going to be required to meet 1,000 different workers' needs to the point where we can't meet our own needs anymore. But as long as we can still meet our own needs, then we help other people, as opposed to the way the world currently works is if you can meet your own needs and you become richer and richer, you don't have to help anyone else. You can screw everybody else over. So basically we're saying the idea that rich people can screw everybody else over is illegal, is against policy. But if you have a poor person who's an executive, or person who's a manager, they are not required to meet the needs of everybody else in the organization because they can't even meet their own needs. Okay? But the moment that we can meet our own needs, let's say we hire me, and let's just use Martine since it's your turn. We're using an example. So we all agree Martine's is the one. Martine's, you're the best equipped person to do this revenue generation, and we're going to put all of our eggs in your basket. And we're going to cross our fingers and hope, okay, Martine's will be able to bring us the money. So then me and Martine's go off and we start working, and Martine's is getting paid. And we do the revenue generation, and we write a grant, and we do some fundraising, and we promote our token, and we bring in $1 million in 3 months. For whatever reason, it's just like magic. It all works perfectly, and we bring in $1 million. Under this policy, we can't just get rich and take all the money for ourselves and screw everybody else, right? The moment we meet our needs, we no longer can ignore everybody else, right? So that is the policy that I'm proposing, right? That it's based on basic life needs. If we can't meet our basic life needs, we are not required to meet everyone else's needs. The moment we raise $1 million and we are meeting our own needs, we now have to be helping everybody else who and supporting them, right? That we're required to support them, and we all have equality again, automatically, right? This
break time to start. Please get focused on the session.
Okay, so this policy is all about basic life needs. As long as basic life needs are not met, the organization can require workers to wait and not treat them as equal human beings, right? And not treat them as equal human beings. As long as basic life needs are being met. So then the moment that basic life needs are met, this policy is revoked. The moment that basic life needs are met, this policy is automatically revoked, and we must support and treat all as equal. Right? So it is a very serious proposal and changes the entire dynamic of Co-op 2.0, right? In that Co-op 2.0 does not have equality for all workers.
Okay.
Which for me is really sad, because my goal has always been building equality and everybody being equal and everyone being supported equally. So in this new proposal, then that all goes away. But we try to make sure there's a check and balance on it, that if we raise $1 million, we go back to the old model, right? But if we don't raise any money, if me and Martins go off and Martins gets paid for a couple months and we don't raise any money, we're not required to support and help anybody because we didn't even get enough money to support ourselves. You know? So it's just like, it's a perfectly, I think it's a option to solve this problem that we're in right now in a fair way. It's not great, and it kind of models how the world works and how normal businesses work, except once that we become rich, if we become rich, the moment that we have resources to meet our own needs, we immediately required to support everybody else in the organization. Whereas in normal world, once people get rich, they just screw everybody else over and take all the money for themselves, right? So that's the general concept here. So I guess the only thing that's missing here is the criteria for what it means to meet basic life needs. So we would be required to set clear criteria for basic life needs, and maybe a spectrum.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Right. So maybe this policy already stops being fully functional just by meeting some basic life needs, so that it's not just an on or off sort of thing, that it's more of a gradual spectrum. gradual process, because sometimes it might be overwhelming if it's just either yes or no. It's just too much, right? So you have more of a gradual spectrum, where as we meet more and more basic life needs, so for example, I would say this only is applicable to individual jurisdiction to start with. So the idea that we would have to do family jurisdiction is too much. Like, why would no one have any other power over the value, even though we're meeting our individual jurisdictional needs? So it's great, we're meeting our individual jurisdictional needs. That's awesome, but that's not really fair to everybody else if we just suddenly start wanting to make enough money for our family jurisdiction and to screw everybody else over individual needs, even though we are already starting to make our getting closer to meeting family jurisdiction. So that means that once we hit individual jurisdiction, or even maybe 75% of individual jurisdiction, we already need to start taking care of other people and addressing other people's needs instead of just taking it all for ourselves, right? So this needs to be set up and have more clarity in terms of the gradual process of meeting needs and basic life needs, so that, because you could easily say, all right, it's going to be global jurisdiction. We all need our global jurisdiction needs met, and that's that. It's just way too much. So I don't know if we want to vote on that, or we could prioritize all of these options and see where the priorities lie. We could vote on them and then be done, and then go on to something else. I need to check in with the. All right, do we get everybody? Is Martine's done? How about we go to Lucy?
Yeah, I'm done.
I think the question has been asked by everybody, but just I would like to know what happened if the proposal that you state is not did not pass.
Then we
And
just stick to our current model.
then again, you are talking of life meeting the needs.
Yeah.
Does
So
that mean?
if we don't pass the new proposal,
Mhm.
then and we have $500, then anybody can work for that $500.
For
And
breath,
most likely the money will just
stop and
disappear.
get ready.
With all the
Now
other
inhale.
money. Does
1,
that make sense?
2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
And now, like you said, the executive is exactly goes to pass that proposal without team participating, voting on it, or the organization can just decide to put it as a policy without the team involved, which is us, all of us, to vote on the
No, we've
proposal.
never ever passed any policy without consensus. So every policy that we've ever created has always had consensus, except for the one to, dissolve all of our pay stops, but that we're now putting back in Co-op 2.0. So we're basically back to our original alignment that every policy that we've ever created is done through consensus. So the only thing that changed with the policy is that the executives can set up the deadlines along with HR board approval. And the workers still have a lot of power to change the deadlines and to extend them and to work with the HR board or whatever needs to be done. But the bottom line is that everything is still done with the consensus. So without that new proposal, the only thing we can do is remove people from the budget, and then we can just say, like, okay, whoever wants to do the work can still get the bonuses, right? So under our current model, it's just an open field that everybody has equal power to get the $500. So if all we have left is $500 to do the revenue generation, then anyone can have access to that money under the current policy. Does that make sense?
Yes. Now talking of basic needs, for me, I see the proposal is a bit. It's not to me my own opinion. Not like I just a little bit disagree with the opinion of the my opinion for this proposal, because when you talk of basic need, does that mean anyone who is not meeting the basic need, they're not supposed to work here? is organization, what criteria is organization going to use to select those who meet the basic need? If somebody does not meet the basic need and he or she still want to work and also know how to do the work, does that mean we ignore that person because he or she does not meet the basic need?
No, it's totally the opposite. The in our model, the organization, in this proposal, the organization treats everybody equally.
Time to
regardless of
pause.
need, right?
Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So everyone has an equal opportunity to do the work from the client, as long as the client's contracting, right? So in this new model, we're saying that we don't have to treat everybody equally. We don't need to meet people's needs, right? In relationship to the work, right? But it's just saying that if somebody's needs are met in the future, so if we have an executive and a worker and they raise $1 million and all of their needs are met, they can't just keep the power for themselves, right? That we're saying the moment that their basic needs are met, then they are required to support the needs of everybody else. Does that make sense? So it's the opposite of what you're saying. So if someone's needs are not met, I mean, no one's needs are met. There's nobody's needs in this entire organization who are met. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here asking for money and wanting to work, right? So the idea is that if our needs are not being met, nothing changes, right? And we are not allowed to get our basic needs from this organization because we cannot even meet our own needs as an organization, right? So that policy doesn't change. We already have that policy on the books. But every individual has a right to do whatever they want to. We can't control anybody to do anything. But pressuring the organization to meet basic needs is against policy. Because we don't have the ability to do that, to meet people's needs. Those are totally separate things. You see the difference? Because it's like the opposite.
It's clear now. Yeah.
Yeah. So this policy is the opposite. It's about if basic needs are met, right? Then we are required to meet everybody else's needs. But if we can't meet basic needs, then we're not required to do that. And instead, we can treat people unequally. And basically, we could say that we're only going to support an individual worker from, for example, the recruitment. So let's say we recruit 10 workers. Under our current model, as long as they're all activated, they all have equal reign, and they can all basically say 10 separate people all come to me and say, Jay, I want training, I want training, I want training, I want training, I want training. And I'm just like overwhelmed with 10 people all wanting training simultaneously, and it's all overwhelming, and everybody
stop, stand up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
Yeah, we can stretch. So in our current model, if you hire 10 new workers and all the recruits want training, and they can all bug me and endlessly and want training, and they can all vote to do a double team, every single day. And so we have 10 people in the session because everybody voted for a double team, and everyone wants simultaneous training with 10 people. We're all just like training. Like that's all the current policy, and that's exactly what we do. We just end up with double team after double team after double team. Everybody wants more and more training. Everybody wants more and more from Jay, right? It doesn't go anywhere. Where we don't actually do any successful training, and we don't actually get any work done. So the idea of this new model is saying, like, we don't have to do that at all. We can just say the one single worker can get training, and Jay only has to meet with one person and do training with one person, and the other 9 new hires just have to wait. And then they can get trained from the person who got the training from Jay. And with indexing, with all the recordings, everything will be available to everybody. But Jay only has to meet with one single person to do the training for that particular assignment. And then that person can train everybody else if they choose to, if they want to do the training for everyone else, right? Or they can watch the videos, right? Because everything will be documented and indexed properly because we're following all the policies. Otherwise, that person will not get paid a dime. So that's the new policy. Does that make sense? That's the proposal. So I could try to write that out, and I wish other people would take notes, but of course, I have to do it myself if anything's going to happen. So I can try to write it here as another detail or another example. Example. If we hire 10 new hires, if we have 10 new hires, currently they all can ask for endless training and do endless training from Jay, from the executive, and do endless double teams every day and do no work, right? So with this new policy, we could choose just a single worker or new hire to get training. The other 9 have to wait. And the executive just trains one single supervisor.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
The training would be required to be recorded and indexed. Otherwise, the worker would not get paid a dime.
That means a worker is a trainer who is training the person, or both of them.
That's what all workers are. That's literally the definition of a worker. If you're just doing training to just do nothing with it, then you should just leave right away because you don't get anything at all. So the whole purpose of anyone getting training on anything is to train someone else. Because if you're only doing training for yourself, you need to leave immediately because you don't get it. Okay?
Yeah.
So everybody is always training somebody. In fact, if you're here for one single day and you got trained on one single thing, you can now train somebody else and be a trainer. And if you think otherwise, you're in the wrong place. You need to leave immediately and go somewhere else. All right, I think we're done. If Lucy's all done, I can go check in with the Spanish team.
Are you going to bank? I'll like to remind you, you are supposed to go to bank today.
I do need to go to the bank. I don't think I need to go to the bank yet. But I do need to go to the bank soon.
When are you supposed to go there? At what time?
I think it is Cobalt Hour 1.
Okay. Before you go, I would like you to send me the payment for Wakana.
What are you asking for? Can you just make it clear and just ask for it?
I'm asking for the payment details for Wakana for December, so I can do personal.
So we are making a topic.
Okay. Because he said he's going, that is why I'm asking.
I also have a lot of other bank work to do for the other bank to get all the documents there, which we haven't done yet. So we do have other work to do.
I was asking for the details for Wakana so that I can verify for personal account. You gave yesterday for Upwork, but for Wakana.
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
So what dates do you want? You want just all of December, or you want mid-December to end of December, or what?
One starting from the 20.
The 20th of December
Yes.
to the 31st of December?
Yes.
So from here now, um, do we?
Did everybody vote? It just looks like me voting. So line 18 to 26, you can vote to help us
Okay.
decide what we're gonna do.
Mhm.
9, 8, 9, 26, Joyce. Mhm.
46. I can't see any voting.
You are on top, line 18, Martins.
Uh, topic 1, or what topic are we?
Topic 1.
Yeah, line.
And also, I have question anyway. It just I don't know whether it's bad to ask. Why you? I saw the message you say the English team that are going to be on Pesto for 1 week, and the other team is from now 1 week,
3 weeks.
one week from now for us, for
Yeah.
English team. Then the Spanish team that are going 3 weeks. Are we not all the same in one organization? Why are they extended up to 3 weeks?
It's just like in the budget allocation, we allocated, we didn't cut the Spanish budget.
Oh, that is based on budget. Okay.
But it doesn't mean that it doesn't affect them. It's just giving them an
Time.
extra.
Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
It's just giving them an extra week or two. Um, Obviously, the Spanish team is in a very different situation than the English team because they like literally have all only been around since December. So they've barely been here for like a month, right? A month and a half. So
It's the same as FQN.
no, you guys have been around for years, and even Martine's been around for like 4 or 5 months, if not even like a little longer than that. So they just have a lot less context of what's going on. Plus, there's all the language issues. But anyways, either way, the point is that under the budget, everyone's getting paid for the entire month. It's just that our budgets got cut in half and their budgets didn't. That make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's not like they're getting any extra money or not. It's just saying that under the budgets for the month, everyone can work the entire month for half the pay that was what agreed upon. But if you want to get full pay for this month, we need to find a solution in 1 week. But it doesn't change the outcome of the pay for the month. The month pay is still the same. So it's up to each person to decide what they're going to do for the last 2 weeks, whether or not they're going to stop working or whether they're going to continue to work.
Okay, Jay. The Spanish team, if for example they work on option 3, is the money, is it for the entire organization or is it just for the Spanish team?
No, it would be the same as we've had before. That basically we can contract the umbrella everything token and the umbrella media company to everyone who's capable of doing the work. So I would
Okay.
say anyone co-op 2.2 can work on that new contract, right? So whether or not we would hire Mamoon to do it is another question, since Mamoon can't even really do anything. But anyone who's able to do work and wants to follow the policies would have access to this new contract.
Okay, I was just asking because you keep saying that the Spanish team, they are organized, they are on time, but I don't really know exactly what they have been doing because from what you have been saying,
I'm not
they are
saying
more.
the Spanish team is something amazing. Okay, the Spanish team has lots
No,
of
but
problems. They're
from
brand new,
from
but they have a lot of potential. So the only
from
thing
what
that
from
has
what is on Discord, it shows that they are more organized, more professional, more advanced than the English team. So I don't know why they have not been able to bring in the income and all the rest.
Time to take a break. Please stop. Write down whatever you were about to say and take a break for 6 minutes.
Because if everyone read your messages on Discord, it shows that English team is just a very bad team, while Spanish is the best. But I don't know. I've not been
I
seeing
would
the
say
income
I
that
would
been
say
bringing.
it's more I would say it's more like this. The Spanish team, and it's not even just the Spanish team, it's specifically Gene. Gene is really good at following policies. There's only 2 workers on the Spanish team. So the English team should be doing 10 times more work than the Spanish team, right? But no one's really doing any work. I'm not saying that the Spanish team is doing a bunch of work. They just don't have the training, they don't have the capacity, they're not great on the payroll. But we haven't done a lot of training. Do they have problems? Yes, they have major problems. I don't know if it's gonna work out, but they also have a lot of potential. So I'm certainly hopeful about the Spanish team, because they are able to run a session a lot better than the English team, right? But that doesn't mean that they are getting all the work done. But they have the ability to get focused much quicker on the client work if they choose to do it. But again, I'm not saying in any way whatsoever that they're being successful and that they're getting all the work done. They will not be getting paid just like everybody else come the end of the month, right?
Okay, so
They
do they equally have pay stubs?
they have the same pay stops that we do. Their only difference is that the taxes. So because the taxes are all in English, their role for the taxes is only oversight. So they have a requirement to make sure that they know that the work for the taxes is getting done by who and when, and making sure it's getting done by the deadline. So basically, the Spanish team is assigned to manage the taxes. And if they don't manage and get the taxes done on time, they do not get paid either. So it's the
Are they
exact,
having their own server where they communicate?
yeah, all the Spanish team
Oh,
communicates in Spanish.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's a separate server.
Let's just be trying and see.
Yeah, but overall, the Spanish team is not getting the work done. There's no question about that. They're not getting the work done. They're not doing all of the client work. I don't know if they even necessarily understand the client work to the level that it is required. So there's no question that Lucy's still doing the most work. And also the English team has all of the training, right? So the Spanish team doesn't even have training spreadsheets, right? The work training spreadsheets, responsibility training spreadsheets, right? They just don't even have responsibility training spreadsheets, and they're still going through and they're translating them, right? So it is certainly not functional yet, but they do have potential. So I'm excited. I'm still excited about the Spanish team. I'm hoping for the best. I don't know if it's going to work out, but they certainly have a right to have a chance, right? Just like we do in the English team.
Okay, I raised my case. I think I'm done with the question.
So does everybody vote?
Yeah, still waiting for Ate to finish.
Okay.
Are they supposed to do also breaking the into body team, Spanish team? Because
They
I
have the
joined the
same
time
problems. They have the
they
same
don't break.
problems that we do. Yeah, it's just really hard to get them to break into buddy teams.
They have problems? Wow.
With the buddy teams, yes. So they have the Spanish team has a very weird situation. Jublia Jublia on the HR board is now basically functioning similar to me, where she comes every day and helps with the work, but she doesn't get paid. So I don't know what's going on with Jublia, but bottom line, she's on the HR board and she is not paid to do work, but she comes every day and she loves working on the team. And she's on the HR board, so she doesn't get paid for it. So the other two workers, it's just Jean and Wendy. So when I come, we would be splitting up into two buddy teams of because there's four of us. So that would be like, me, Jean, and Wendy and Julia. But Julia, one of the workers would be meeting with an HR board member in order to split up. So it's a slightly weird situation. And I think that's partly why they always want to do double team, because one of the people there is from the HR board. But either way, the policy is that it doesn't matter who is there. We're supposed to split up into two teams, and that's also part of this new proposal that I could just work with one person to do training instead of having to do the double team every time. Anyways, we'll just see what happens. The Spanish team is certainly not functional yet, but they have a lot of potential, especially with Jean. But Jean could quit any day. I mean, Maxi was amazing. Maxi was like had so much potential and was just like so fast with everything. It was just amazing, but he quit.
What happened?
Break. Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
We did the policy continuity team with the group that wanted to follow all the policies. So Gene agreed to follow all the policies, and he's doing the best at following the policies of anybody in the entire organization. And then Maxi refused to follow the policies. So I started working with more Gene, and Maxi was just working with more Wendy and doing, we weren't really working together anymore. And I don't know, maybe just got over it. I don't know exactly what happened, but he just didn't want to follow the policies. So it was a little bit problematic. So I don't know what to do about that. But anyways, he just decided to quit because he got a bunch of other paying jobs, and we don't pay very much money. So he got a bunch of
We
other
don't even
jobs.
pay at all.
Well, if it's me, I guess we could say that. Everyone else does get pay except for me over the last year. But hopefully we can fix that, but I don't think now is the right time to fix that when we're cutting all of our budgets and everything. Anyways, let's are there any other questions about Spanish team or anything else before I go check in on them?
No, I just the only thing we are just wishing is that they should be doing the work, the client work. At least they can save the entire organization because they are more functional.
Okay, so I'm gonna head over there and check in with them, and then go to the bank. But
Habib,
what?
please remember to send me the details for Wakanda.
Okay, Jane.
Oh yeah, I did download that just now. So let me see where to put it.
So will you be available, Sonic, so that we can work on plan revenue?
Sonic, I mean, we can check in during Sonic. It's not the best time for me, but we certainly can try. But what do we need to work on again? What was it?
I want us to work on the new contract with the US. In short, plan revenue, generating income, especially external.
That's very high priority. That's a certainly important thing to do. It's not our only top priorities, but definitely up there. So
Yes, I want to work on revenue and deadline organizing.
Yeah, if you want to do that, then I would say there's a 50-50 shot that I would
Time
do
to
it.
pause. Please stop.
Really
Close
fast.
your eyes. Count
50-50 shot that you will be available.
4,
Yeah.
5, Open your
Okay,
eyes.
no problem. I'll just set my reminder and then I'll just
So
be
that's I mean,
reminded.
it's certainly important. I don't know how long I'd be able to do it for, but I just need to see how the bank goes. If the bank goes quickly and easily, then that would be much easier to do. So I don't know. It just all just
Okay,
depends.
Jay.
Let me.
I'll check in. I'll check in if you are not free, then there's no problem. We can check in tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're not
Remember
free,
to,
we can check in tomorrow.
I have a session. I schedule also to have a session on with you on individual FBA tomorrow. I will coordinate as you told me to coordinate first with the team.
Tomorrow is main session.
Oh, next not tomorrow. On Saturday. Saturday. Sorry.
Right.
Friday, Saturday. Friday, Saturday. Yes. Tomorrow is the main session. Okay. Check J. Kindly you can go and check on them.
All right. I'm sending you the link on.
Okay. Thank you. That is
Joy
it.
is coming.
No access. J. I cannot access this document. Request access.
Oh,
Did it work?
Martin's not check out.
Did it work now?
She
Let
says she
me.
doesn't have access to the document.
Well, I tried to fix it. Did it fix?
Yeah, it's working now. Thank you.
Well, all right. I will talk to y'all soon.
Okay,
Okay.
Jay.
All right.
Hopefully we meet and get some work done.
Sure.
Okay. Well, wait. Please wait.